All right, let's talk about something big, ISO 27001. Now, we all know it's one of the most respected information security standards on the planet, which is great. But for a lot of businesses, actually getting certified can feel like you're standing at the bottom of a huge mountain with no idea how to even start climbing. So today, we're going to map out a new way to the top.
Does this look familiar? I bet it does. If you've ever even glanced at the requirements for ISO 27001, you've probably felt this exact thing. It's a totally common feeling, so believe me, you are not alone.
And here's why it feels that way. It's not just one thing. It's this whole storm of complex tasks. You're talking about drafting what feels like endless policies, navigating these intricate risk assessments, prepping for audits, and then there's just the mountain of documentation. It's really no wonder that most people just don't know where to begin. So, when you're faced with that kind of challenge, what does almost everyone do? Well, they take the traditional path. They call in expensive consultants to show them the way. It's the route everyone knows, but it definitely has its own share of problems. That traditional path, the one you see in the first column, usually means bringing in consultants from day one. And look, that's a perfectly fine option, but it comes with a couple of pretty big drawbacks. It can be really expensive, and it's often a pretty slow process. Which, begs the question, what's up with that second column? Is there really another way to do this?
The answer is yes, absolutely. Today, we're exploring a much smarter way forward, one that basically blazes a new trail to getting compliant, and it does it using the power of AI.
This right here is the core idea. What if you could take back control? What if, instead of outsourcing the whole shebang, you could build your own ISO 27001 framework, but with intelligent AI agents and automation guiding you along the way? This isn't science fiction anymore. It's a real, practical, and modern way to get this done.
Okay, so if we're going to climb this mountain ourselves, we need the right gear. Let's take a look at the AI-powered toolkit that actually makes this whole DIY journey possible.
So here are the 4 fundamental ways AI is going to help you build your framework. It helps you draft all your policies, it simplifies that really tricky risk assessment part, it maps all the specific controls you'll need, and this one is crucial, it helps keep your entire system alive and up to date. Let's break each of those down. First up, policies. You know that feeling of staring at a blank page? It's intimidating. But instead of starting from scratch, AI can generate the first drafts of all the core policies and procedures you need. For example, it can write up a baseline access control policy that's based on industry best practices, giving you this really solid foundation that you can then just tweak for your own organization.
Next, risk assessment. This is honestly where a lot of these projects get bogged down. It's complex. AI can make this so much simpler by giving you generated insights. It might identify a common risk for a company your size, something like unpatched servers in your cloud environment, and then it can even suggest the specific steps you should take to fix it. It just brings a ton of clarity to a super complicated task.
Okay, now let's talk about a specific part of the standard called Annex A. It's basically a list of 93 different security controls, and the real challenge is figuring out which of those actually apply to your business. AI is an absolute game changer here because it can map these controls directly to what you do. So if you're a cloud-based business, it might analyze your setup and highlight control A5.23, the one about cloud services, as being critical for you. And this might be the most important point of all. Getting compliant isn't a one-and-done project. It's not something you just finish. You need a living information security management system, or ISMS. And this is where AI really shines. It helps you keep that system alive with things like automated monitoring and reminders, making sure you don't fall out of compliance after all that hard work.
This whole idea of a living ISS is really the ultimate goal here. It means your security framework isn't some dusty binder sitting on a shelf. No way. It's a dynamic system that changes as your business changes and as the threats out there change. And that shift from a static project to a continuous process is the real power of this whole approach.
So, we've got the tools, we've done the work. What's the payoff? What are the big advantages of doing it this way? Come on, let's check out the view from the summit.
This chart pretty much sums it all up. The DIY approach with AI gives you 3 huge things that the traditional path often can't. Speed, because you're not waiting around on a consultant's schedule. Flexibility, because you are in control, and a significantly lower cost, which puts compliance within reach for so many more organizations. And let's be crystal clear about this. This DIY path is not about cutting corners. Not at all. It's about empowering you. This whole process is designed to get you completely prepared for those final steps, like bringing in an expert for an independent internal audit,
and ultimately getting that official certification.
So after seeing how AI can demystify this whole process, breaking it down into manageable steps, and giving you the tools you actually need to succeed, the only question left is, are you ready to take that first step on your own compliance journey?